Hey guys, welcome to the review show. My name's Austin. Welcome to my top 10 worst movies of 2021. Now, these are the movies that I just hate this year. These are all these movies I think are just one of the worst movies ever, at least of 2021. Before we get into this is going to be a quick recap of the movies. These are not going to be full-on reviews. If you guys want to see my reviews on these movies, there will be links down below. Now, remember, I haven't seen every movie this year, so don't hate on me. It's like, oh, blah, 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 this movie is worse. Well, I probably didn't see it then or didn't review it because these are going to be movies that I reviewed. And because I just didn't feel like reviewing every movie this year. And some are just bad. I just didn't feel like was worth the time to review. So, yeah. Let's get right into it. Godzilla vs. Kong at number 10. I don't hate this movie. I've just found this movie just way too boring because when the action comes between Godzilla and Kong, it's just like, okay, yes, and next it's done, and all right, cool. Those are just great YouTube clips, and I don't need the movie to watch that because each clip, I guarantee you there was like probably 10 to 15 minutes of Godzilla and Kong actually fighting in this movie. Maybe a little bit more, but hardly that much. It was mostly focused on the dumb human characters, and setting up another movie. It's like, I just don't care. And I just wanted to see Godzilla versus Kong throughout the whole entire thing, and I didn't really get that. Snake Eyes G.I. Joe Origins is at number 9. That was a very confusing way to say that title. I probably had a bad theater experience because I couldn't hardly see in this movie. It was like the camera was dying and all that. So, but besides that, still not really a great movie. The action was cool. I mean, there was cool action segments, but the story was terrible. Like they trashed on characters that should just needed more respect. And next thing you know, it's been a while. I hardly don't really remember this movie. That's how bad it is, and I really don't want to. So, yeah. Number 8, Red Nose. One of the most, movies that should have been good this year. You have Ryan Reynolds, Dwayne Johnson, and Gal Gadot, however you say her name. These are great actors. Like these three should have been like a lightning in the bottle and be in one movie. Now, yes, there was funny parts in it, but again, the story just doesn't make any sense. They tried to do this thing with Gadot and Dwayne Johnson where they just, were lovers, and next they tried to set up that he was a villain this whole entire time, but it doesn't make any sense when she's almost killing him at a certain point. Number 7. The Kingsman at 7. This was just a very boring movie. It was just very, it wasn't anything like in the trailers. The trailers made you think, oh, this is going to be a fun action type of movie, in which that's what the Kingsman movies are. It's fun action, and there's hardly any action in this, and you can see the villain coming away from a mile. Literally the first scene in this movie, I was like, it's him. Because they keep the villain, in the shadows the whole entire movie, and literally the first guy that comes on screen is like, it's him. All right, movie's over. Let's go. It was just very done poorly. Number 6. And number 6 is The Matrix Resurrection. Another very boring movie, a very misleading type of movie. This movie is just nothing but member berries. Literally nothing else but member berries, and I hate it. I really do hate this movie. It doesn't try to do anything on its own. It's just a retread of the first one, but done worse. Number 5. Number 5, Clifford, the Big Red Dog. Big Red Dog? The big dog. The dog. People are going to say, well, it's a kid's movie. And I'm going to say this. It's a terrible movie for kids. It has a terrible the message is a good, but it's told terribly. Where this girl gets away with just breaking rules and has no consequences, and it doesn't go with what the message is at the end. It's like, you just didn't set that message to be up. what else can I say?
Number 4.
Number 4, Tom and Jerry, another kids movie. Yeah, another message that is never set up once. A girl, the main lead in this movie, she gets away with ruining a girl's job. She lies about her application, she lies about who she is, and the movie's just fine with it. She undoes that at the end of the movie, but she doesn't get any consequences from it, and it's just nothing like the TV show at all with Tom and Jerry. Tom and Jerry are sort of missing in this movie. Like, there's scenes with them, but it's like they're not in the movie themselves that much. Number 3, Old. This was the most funniest movie of all year, and unintentionally. I couldn't stop laughing throughout this whole entire movie at all. Like, I was just, it's just that great of a movie, but in the all wrong ways. So this is definitely a guilty pleasure movie, and it definitely does deserve to be on this list, and that low, because it's that bad. It's terrible. Number 2, Resident Evil: Welcome to Raccoon City. This movie pisses me off. This is an insult to Resident Evil fans, even though they try to do things right, with certain scenery and showing, locations from the game. But the story, the characters, the CGI is terrible. They shit on Leon throughout this whole entire movie, and they don't give him redemption at all. And all the other characters you just hate. The only ones they sort of get right is Claire and Chris Redfield. Those are the only 2 characters you can really get behind. But at the same time, this movie is just so rushed, and trying to get out the door. It's like, hey, we need to make another Resident Evil movie to keep the license. So that's how this movie feels like. And number 1, the worst movie of 2021. Do I really have to say it? Like, do I? Because if you guys have been on my channel for a while now, or maybe at least like 3 weeks. You should know which movie I fucking hate all year. Home Sweet Home Alone is the worst movie of this fucking goddamn year. I hate this movie. This movie insults the original, and next, it makes us try to get behind a kid that is a little brat, and tries to make the villains of this movie of a family that is in debt and trying to pay for their house. But at the same time, they're being stupid by getting themselves hurt, and instead of asking for this doll back that they assume that this kid took, they just try to break in the house and become criminals. I hate this movie. I don't want to spend any time talking about this movie. I just want to get this over with now. I would rather watch all these other 9 movies than this movie. I would rather watch Resident Evil Raccoon City, even though that one pisses me off too, over this one, because this one's just a drag, and it took me 3 days to watch this movie. It was like 30 minutes a day. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. That was my top 10 worst movies of 2021. Definitely a big list. I could have added another like 5 to this list, but I was like, I don't want to waste my time. I'd rather do something else than talk about terrible movies that happened this year. So let me know what your lists are. Give me your top 10 worst movies of all year if you guys have seen that many. But if you shouldn't be, because that's my job. I should be seeing these, not you, and I should be telling you not to see these. So yeah. Anyway, thank you guys very much for this lovely year. This was like definitely this is just a year trying to get over COVID. But when I was just like making videos, it was just fun, and like talking to movies and talking to you guys in the comment section was just so much fun, and to get away from all that. And when theaters finally opened back up, it felt like a piece of me just like came alive. Like that piece that died in 2020 came back to life. Yeah, so I just do appreciate that everything that you guys have done for me over this past years, and it's just like how the channel is just growing. So hopefully you guys had a lovely Christmas. I probably should have said that in the other video as well, but hopefully you guys do also have a great New Year's Eve. Anyway guys, thank you for watching. Like always, I'll see you guys in the next review. Bye guys.